So the chaotic times that we're experiencing now have inspired me to talk about graffiti a little bit and the original function or utility of graffiti. New York City was a very different place in the 70s and 80s. There's a lot of poverty, a lot of abandoned buildings, a lot of low-income neighborhoods, and a lot of resources that are not being provided for lots of people who happen to be black and brown. So much so that school systems were not funded to the degree that they can afford music supplies, and as a result, places like the South Bronx created what? Hip-hop. Now, along with hip-hop came what? Dancing, DJing, mcing, and graffiti. However, while graffiti evolved into something utilized for the culture we know today as hip hop, what was its original function? The original function of graffiti is an SOS. The trains leaving the South Bronx, those low-income neighborhoods, those poverty-stricken neighborhoods in the 1970s and early 80s, were so war-torn and so fucked up that the people there, particularly the youth, felt the need to let people know. And the only thing that was leaving the South Bronx every single day without fail was the MTA trains. So you tell stories about the murders and the poverty and the gang warfare and the corruption, everything that's happening to the Bronx at this time in New York City history, that ultimately leads to the expansion of hip hop culture. Graffiti was the original Graffiti was the original hieroglyphics of the ghetto. It was an SOS call to outside the ghetto to pay attention to what we got going on here, because something's going on here that's really, really terrible. And I'm so convinced that this is the case because if you look at skate culture, right, skateboarding, from a bird's eye view, society first observes these ratty-looking kids skateboarding all over corporate property, skateboarding through parks, skateboarding on sidewalks, getting hit by cars, skateboarding in the middle of the street, all this kind of stuff. So, corporate spaces get security. And certain major cities like Los Angeles or New York City have what? Skate parks. Skate parks. Something started in the streets that wasn't necessarily bad, but could be considered or perceived as mischievous, or just generally get in the way of everyday domestic life for everyday people. So what they do, they provided a space for you to go do it. Now, there aren't as many skate parks as there should be, but that's a completely different conversation. But there are some, especially in cities like where I am at in New York. So if you notice that there's this big overwhelming issue of graffiti, of tagging trains, why not commit a public, federally funded space to graffiti? The same way 5 Points was, but 5 Points was privately owned. Again, another conversation. But why not fund a space where people can do graffiti in peace and safely and legally, and not have to put out an SOS message on a train? And furthermore, as it applies today, and as it applies to black people who don't do art, it raises a great question. Said question being, how can art best be utilized to serve the masses? And what does that evolve into? Graffiti was the original hieroglyphics of the ghetto. Just a thought.